In this video tutorial, you are going to learn how to master Google Docs. So whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone who needs to create documents, this step-by-step full guide will teach you everything that you need to know. So Google Docs is basically an online formatting tool that allows you to do all the things that you used to do in tools like Microsoft Word. So we can create, we can edit, we can format, and then we can share and collaborate. And we'll talk about all of those things. So stick around to the end for some advanced tips and tricks to boost your productivity, and let's go ahead and dive in. So first things first, how do you access Google Docs? So if you already have a Gmail account, so a Google account, you can just go to your Gmail account like I'm doing here, and then when you're here within your email, you can go to the upper right-hand corner where it says Google Apps, click on that, and then scroll down until you see the little page icon here that says Docs. It's blue and has a few lines on it, and this will take you to where you can start creating your first Google document. Now, again, you have to be signed in, you have to have a Google account. All of those things have to happen first. If you don't have a Google account, just open up a new tab or go to Google and search for Create Google Account, and then it says the first option here, Create a Google Account or Sign In, and basically it'll take you to the exact place that you need to go ahead and create a Google account. So once you're here, you have an account and you're logged into Google Docs, we want to create our first document. Now, there's two different ways we can do this. We can create a blank document from scratch, which is this addition symbol here, or we can choose a template from the template gallery. So as you can see, this little guy here says Template Gallery. If we expand it here, we can see the different types of templates that are available to us. There's resumes, there's letters, there's different work documents, and if you want to, you could go in, select one of those templates, and then it'll go ahead and generate that for you, and then you can just go in and fill in your information. But what we're going to do is we're going to act like we want to create a brand new document so I can show you everything that you need to know to get started up and running with Google Docs. So go ahead and go into your blank document, and you're going to be presented with your cursor right here, and then you're going to see all of the fun things that Google Docs can do. In the upper left-hand corner is where the title of the document is going to go. On the left-hand sidebar over here, you're going to see kind of a rundown of your document as you create it. So if we go to this one here, you should be able to go here and see the different tabs, and you can kind of see and access different areas of your document and navigate your document once that gets very long and very easy, allow you to kind of navigate your long document. If you want to, you can hit the arrow here to hide that to make it a little cleaner. And then on the right-hand side, you're going to see a couple of options that say Help Me Write and Suggest Edits. All of these are AI tools, and we'll talk about them here in just a few minutes. So first things first, all the tools here that you see the little star icon, that is Google Gemini. That is a Google AI tool that, as you're watching this, just continues to get better and better. And so you can use it if you want, but I'm going to show you how to do everything as far as basics, and then we'll talk about that in a minute. So first things first, here we are on our blank document, and I've added some text. So let's go ahead and talk about, navigating the text and how to add text. So it's very simple. You want to add text, you just start typing. So you just go here and you start typing in the text that you want to add. Now, once you've typed in the text that you want and you have your document going, how do you navigate around the document to make it look and feel how you want? Well, first things first, you have the 100% zoom up here. If you click the drop-down menu, you can increase or decrease the zoom. So we can make it 50% to kind of zoom out of the document. We can make it 150% to make it a little bigger depending on the size that, of the screen that you prefer as you're working with. So let's go ahead and talk about the addition of a new document once you're in one. So if you wanted to, you could even go to File, New, and create a new document here from a blank document or from a template, as you can see right here. Now, let's go ahead and talk about creating that document and then renaming and saving it. If you want to save a document, it's very simple. You go right here, you give the document a title, go ahead and insert just a few words here, and then right here where you see this option that says See Document Status, all changes saved to Drive. When you create and work on a document in Google Docs, it'll automatically save to Google Drive. Google Drive is just, think of it as an online file storage system as if you're saving it on your computer. If you wanted to, you could even go to Google Drive, click on my Google Drive here, and you can see that document is now showing up in my Google Drive that I can click right here, double click, and just right here, this is the document that we were working on. So you want to make sure that there is a check and a cloud right here next to the title of the document to let you know that you are saving that document, okay? Next is formatting text, font styles, sizes, and colors. Very simple here. I'm going to select text by clicking and holding my cursor. It'll highlight it in a light blue color here, letting me know that, yes, that's me that's making the changes, and that's all about collaboration, and we'll talk about that in a second. But what you want to do now to format the text is, the first thing you can do is the style of the text. Click on the Style drop-down menu, and you can choose from the different sized headings, a subtitle, title, or just normal text. So we'll change this to be a heading 1. So we'll select that, go to Apply Heading 1, and it'll just make that text bigger, as you can see here, changing the different formatting. Now, what if we want to change the actual font style or font type? Then we go to Font here, drop-down menu, and then you can just choose, say, hey, I want the title of this to be in this font here. And if you don't like it, go to the drop down again and choose the one until you find a font that you do like. So you change the styling and the font here, and then you can change the size specifically by, again, selecting that font and then hitting the minus symbol to decrease and the addition symbol to increase the size of the font. If you want to bold, italicize, or underline, you just choose the option you want, bold, italicize, or underline, or you can do all three. And then the text colors right next to that, you choose text color, and you can choose the color of text that you want to change it to. And then right here, this is your highlight color. So if we want red text with a yellow background, you can see I can do all of those things. Now, let's say you've made some changes and you don't quite like them. You want to undo. So it's very easy to choose this little reverse arrow right here that says undo, and it will continue to undo until you stop clicking. Or if you want to do this on your keyboard, it'll be Control or Command Z on your keyboard, and as you can see, that will undo. Same thing for the forward arrow redo, or Command Control Y. If we click it, it'll redo the different change that we just made to that document. So that's a little bit about formatting text, changing the styles, and different things of that nature. Now, if you want to realign your text, you select the text you want to realign, and then right here where you see the Align and Indent option here, click that there, and you can center, right, or left align your text. All done here with the Align and Indent tool. Now, if you don't see these formatting tools up here, and maybe because you hid them right here with Hide Menus, if you click that arrow there, it'll hide that, but if we go here, it will go ahead and re-show that menu up above. So that's everything you really need to know about formatting text. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is adding bullets right here. So you have a title of a different section here, but you want to add a bulleted list underneath. So what you would want to do is you would want to go ahead and, if you have text, so let's say we have text here like this list of colors, green and red, we can choose that text there. And then we go to where we see the bulleted list option here, and we select the drop-down menu, and we can select the formatting in which we want our bulleted list, or just select on bulleted list, and as you can see, it will change that text there to be a bulleted list. Now when we hit enter after our last character on the list, it'll create an automatic bulleted list. So we can then add something else to the list, and if we want to go ahead and go to the next section, we would hit enter twice, and that'll bring us back to the regular indent, and it removes us from that bulleted list. So that's everything you really need to know about formatting text. Let's talk about formatting paragraphs, so line spacing and paragraph alignment. So if you want to change the way that your paragraphs are indented or how they look, you can go here and you can select at the beginning of a paragraph and hit Tab, and that will indent that paragraph properly there. And then if you want to, you can just hit backspace there, or you can select the paragraph as a whole. And if you need to change the alignment of that paragraph, you can use the alignment and indent tool up above. But as far as paragraphs go, you can select specific areas in a paragraph and format that text individually, as you can see. Also, when you select an area of text within a Google Doc, you'll see the pencil icon with the little star icon. This lets you go and use Google Gemini or Google's AI tool, and we'll talk all about that in the AI section towards the end of this video. All right, now let's move on to images, tables, and media. So how do you insert an image into a Google Doc? So go ahead and put your cursor right where you want the image to be, and then you're going to see here in the toolbox this option here that says Insert Image. If we click on Insert Image, you can either upload from computer, you can search the web, you can search your Google Drive or Google Photos, or you can even attach a camera or by URL. You can use whatever option you want, but I'm going to show you a couple here. We're going to go to my Google Photos here, and it's going to bring up my Google Photos. I've taken a few pictures of my Kindle here because I'm trying to sell it. I'll click on that option there, and I'll click on the blue button that says Insert. As you can see, I now have a very large image that's being inserted into my Google Doc. Now, how do we basically manipulate this image? If you click on the image, it's going to bring the little guide arrows or boxes. We can click and hold those to basically decrease the size of the image to make it fit where we want it to fit. So I can click and hold and drag left to right to increase or decrease the size of the image. And if I wanted to, when the image is selected, there will be multiple ways that the image can react with the text on the page. The first option is inline, so it puts it in line. It doesn't wrap around the text. It puts it directly where you want it. Next is wrap text. That's going to wrap the text around it, but you'll see here that oftentimes you have to fiddle with it to get it to look the way you want. Next would be break text, where it basically puts it in between the text there. Then we have the behind and in front of text. So behind would put text on top of it, but you'd have to change the opacity, and I'll basically show you how to do that if you want here in a second under image options. And the next would be in front of text, which would basically overlap on your text. The one I like is inline or wrap text, depending on, if I can go here and hit enter, and I can move that text to basically make it inline once again. You can change the margin by clicking the drop down, or you can move with text. So as the text moves, it'll move the image as well. I like to do fixed position on page. That way I can better manipulate my text around where the image is. Again, click and hold here, drag this to make it bigger, drag it in to make it smaller, just to resize the image. Now, a couple other things that we can do. I'm going to go ahead and make this inline here just to make it easier. Another couple things we can do with an image is once it's selected, you'll see a new thing here in your menu that says Image Options. If you click on Image Options, we can now have a ton of tools and things we can do with the image. Under size and rotation, we can give it an exact size. Just make sure you have lock aspect ratio on, because if you don't, the image is going to get funky, because as you try to resize it, the height's going to go way out of proportion of the width, and it's just going to look weird. So just lock the aspect ratio here, and you can increase, and as you can see, as I hit the arrow here and go up and down, the image does what I ask it to do there. Text wrapping, we've already talked about those. Recolor, if you click that there, you can hit the drop-down menu, and we can add a little bit of a recolor filter there. Adjustments, you can even go and adjust the opacity, which is what I was telling you earlier. By decreasing this, it changes basically the opacity and the intensity of the image. And if you want to put text on top of an image, I would encourage you to basically change the opacity of that image. You can change the brightness here. You can change the contrast. But just remember, you can hit undo to undo these things if you want, just like I showed you earlier. As you're messing with this stuff here, if it gets a little out of hand, you can just hit, like if I mess it up by increasing the contrast, I can go to reset, and it takes it back to the initial option. Alt text is going to be, basically these are for screen readers or people who might have trouble seeing your content. Add that description to put kind of underneath, kind of as a sub-description for said image. That's all under image options. Now, if you want to, you're not satisfied with the image, hit the X here to get out of image options, select the image, hit the backspace or delete key on your keyboard, and you have removed that image. So that's how you add an image from your Google Photos. But if you go up here and you go to the image option again, you're going to see something that says upload from computer. We click on upload from computer, you're now going to be able to see the option to upload an image from your computer. So I'll upload the thumbnail for this video here. You can select the image by hitting open or just double clicking on the image. And that's going to add the image to the document. Again, we can resize it by clicking and holding left. And then we can even move it by clicking and holding, and we can move the image up and down wherever the cursor is. So as you can see there, if I zoom in, as I drag, there is a blue cursor. So as I drag the image here, there's a little blue cursor there that follows my cursor, and that's going to be kind of the left-hand alignment of where that image is going to be located. So again, multiple ways of doing it. And another new thing that you can do, and I'll talk about it now, is if you go to the image option here, you can go to help me create an image, and this is going to use their AI tools to basically insert an image. So we're talking about dogs. So give it a little prompt like dog walking on a beach, a pink poodle. You want the image to be let's make it a wide image here, and we want to add a style. We can add a style of, say, vector art here and go to create. This is going to use the AI tools within Google Gemini that will create an image based on the prompt that you gave it. As you can see here, we have 4 different options. These are all really good. We will go ahead and click that one to insert this one here. That's pretty good. A dog walking on a beach. We want the dog to be a pink poodle. And as you can see, this image can be edited and manipulated just like any image. You can click and hold to resize the image here. You click and hold to move it on the document. This would be just like an image that you created or found on your computer. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is tables. This is where the fun really begins, right? So when you're working with tables, the first thing you might want to do is to create one, obviously. So in order to do that, we would want to basically put our cursor where we want the table and go to Insert, and then as you can see, the option here that says Table. Now, this can get a little complicated, but I'm going to try to simplify it as much as possible. So right here, when you go to the Table option, you can go right here and you'll see the Building Blocks option here. So basically this means however far right you go is going to be how many columns, and however far down you go is going to be how many rows. So we're going to make a table that is 5 by 5 by when we get the way we want it, we click that option there, and it's going to create us a 5-row, 5-column table. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, another thing that we can do within Google Docs is we can go to Insert, Table, and right here where it says Building Blocks is we can create specific things that Google Docs have used as templates for tables. So a simple decision log, a review tracker, a product roadmap. So we'll go to product roadmap. And as you can see, it creates us what it thinks to be a good product roadmap template. Now, you can use these if you want. If not, let's go back to the table that we created up above. So if we want to adjust the table styling and border, what we would do is we would go here into the table. And as you can see here, if we hit the arrow within that table, we're going to have the option to only put, inlines there, only do lines on the bottom. The one that I use is the one that basically adds the lines all around. So when we have a table selected, so if we go here and let's just select that table there, this is going to give us the options to go and adjust the stylings of our table. The first thing we can do is we can click and hold the lines here to increase or decrease the width of a cell. Now, a cell is just the individual box or block that you're seeing here, and then you can increase or decrease the size of that row by clicking and holding, or you can do the same with the columns or the rows by clicking and holding and dragging up and down just to make sure. Normally, you're going to want these to be all similar or the same, so just make sure when you're adjusting these that it can really get funky. Also, if you wanted to, if you're highlighting over a column, you'll see this little addition symbol. Click the addition symbol to add a column, and then again, you can hit undo to undo that. And the same goes for a row. So if we go here to the row, we can insert one row below by selecting the row or hovering over it, clicking the addition symbol, and that will add a row. The same thing goes for columns and rows. Just everything will be applicable for both different stylings. Now, what if you want to change the way that your table looks? Just select the table here, go to Format, and then go to Table. As you can see, we can do a couple of different things. We can delete a row, we can insert a row or a column, we can pin a row at the top, we can merge cells, or if we wanted to, we can go to Table Properties. Now, under Table Properties, you'll see a couple of quick layouts. This is going to be a layout if you have an image here. You'll see the different table options here. You'll see column, row, cell, and color. The one I want to go to is color. So your table border is going to be what you see with the lines here. We want that border to change to a red. We can change that. And the 1 point option here, this is going to be the thickness of the border of your table. Default, it's on 1, and default, the color is black. Now, you can also change the background color of a table by going to the background color here, clicking that, and then choosing a color of your background. Now, if you wanted to do individual, you could basically go and select an individual row or column. And as you can see, if I want that to be a red, I can change that to a red, and that allows me to select and highlight and make kind of an alternating color or pattern to make it kind of easier to recognize different things that we're adding to the table. That's it. That's how you kind of manipulate the table with properties and stylings. And as you add text into a table, what you'll have to do is hit the Tab button on your keyboard to the next one over, and then you can use your arrows to manipulate on your keyboard where you want to type in the specific table. So that's really everything you'll need to know in regards to tables. And then lastly, as with anything within Google Docs, you can basically copy and paste it. So you can go here and select all of it, hit Command or Control X on your keyboard. That will cut that table, and then go to where you want to put it. Go to Command or Control V on your keyboard, and that will paste it. So it's a good time to talk about that. Command Control X is cut, Command Control C is copy, and Command Control V is paste. That's kind of a couple of hotkeys to help you navigate Google Docs. Now, how do we add links and media? So links are going to be either hyperlinks or links to other Google documents. So let's talk about that now. So let's go to my website. Here's my website here. I'll go ahead and go to the URL here. I will highlight it. I will copy that link, and then I will go back to my Google document, select where I want the link to be, and then what I'll do is I'll right-click and then go to Insert Link, and then it'll bring up a option here, and the option we want to choose is just paste that link and then go to apply. Now, when someone is in this document, they click on that, and it'll take them to an option where they can click on the link to take them to that website. Now, to link to another Google document, so you may have other Google documents that you want to source or whatever it may be, you select the text there, you right-click on it, you go to Insert Link, and then you can see there's going to be options here where we can link different documents. So we click that there, that's going to open up that, and here we are, back to the document that we just linked. So again, that's really everything you need to know about links. You have hyperlinks for other websites, and you have internal links for other Google Docs or spreadsheets or whatever you want to link within the Google ecosystem. Now let's talk about probably one of the most powerful things that Google Docs has going for it, and that is the sharing and collaboration options. In order to simply share a document, here we are on our document, we would go to File, and then where you see Share, you can go to Share with Others. So click on that there. This will bring up the option to insert an email. So we can insert an email of a person here, and we can choose to make them either an editor, commenter, or viewer. Viewer only allows them to view. They cannot change anything in the document. Commenter allows them to go to the sidebar and comment on specific segments of the document, but not actually change it. And then editor allows them to have full editing privileges, just like you do, to make any change, minor or major, to the document. You can then type a message like I have here when you notify the person that says, here is the doc, I hope you like it. So you can do one individual or multiple email addresses by just typing those in here, make them all the type of person you want them, whether viewer, commenter, or editor, and then go to send, and that will send them an email that says, hey, you've been shared this title of the document here. Would you like to accept? They'll accept. It'll make them an editor if that's what you've chosen, and then they can do anything they want with the document, and you can go back and forth. Great for podcasting, great for creators, great for businesses to go back and forth on docs. It's just an overall great way to share the document. Now, another thing that you can do is once you've done that, you can go to File, and then you can see here where it says Email. You can just email the file. So go to Email this file. It'll bring up an option to start an email where you can give the person's email address in the To field, give them the subject as the document name, type the message, and then you can attach it as a PDF or RTF, HTML, Word file, whatever you want. I would choose PDF, and that will just email the document to them. It'll look more professional, and it doesn't give them the option to have any type of privileges as far as commenting or editing. So you can email it to them that way there. Now, what happens when someone is on a document with you? First things first, you'll get this email. Like I see here, it says Dusty shared a document. Here's the document name. Click open. And then depending on what type of editor or commenter they are, they'll have this option here. Now, what are you going to see when you're collaborating or sharing a document? Up here, you're going to see the people who this is shared with. So right here, if we click on that guy there, that's going to be showing you that, hey, this is being shared with this other person here. And you can go to Show Chat, and it actually allows you to open up a chat room to chat with the people as you're collaborating on that document. Now, once we're here, your cursor, as you can see, if I make changes to this, so let's say I add something here, and we'll add a changes option here. Anything that is changed will show up under the version history. So if we go to right here where it says the little time icon, click on that there, it'll show you the version history. Anything done by a certain person, they'll have a different color. So everything that was done initially was in green, and the change that I just made was in purple, allowing you to see and document when and what changes were made to the document and actually who made the document. And if someone else is in the document, so like this one here, I am in the document right here, and my cursor is right there, it'll show you in real time, as you can see, here's the other person with their cursor and their name, and even show you live what they're typing or changing on the document. So collaborating on a document within Google Docs is a wonderful thing for anyone who wants to take a document and has a team to manipulate and edit over time and changes and not have to go back and forth. So it's a great time saver as well. Now let's talk about a couple of pro tips. Let's talk about the AI features that are within Google Docs. So as we begin typing, we put our cursor here. We're going to see this little pencil icon that says Help Me Write. If we click on Help Me Write, this is going to bring up a little blurb or box from Google Gemini, and we can give it a prompt just like we did with the picture earlier. So give it a prompt like I have here, and then just hit enter or the blue create button here, and it'll begin working. And as you can see, the blue lines here show you that it is working. And as you can see, it gives you this nice little document and bulleted list. I said plan an outline for a party for my daughter, gave me this option here. Then you can either refine it by clicking on refine, and you can retry, you can summarize it, you can make it more casual, you can shorten it. All these things are done with the AI tool. And then you go to insert, and that inserts that into our document. So now we can go here and format it how we want to. So here's our party outline for our daughter. And then we can go in here and change the text. We want to change that color to be something different. We can go and change the color of that bulleted list to be red. And then if you see these lines here under the text, this is just a tool that I use called Grammarly. It's basically a spell checker on steroids. You can go check it out. They're not sponsoring or anything, but you can basically choose that and then choose the correct version if Grammarly is correct. So that's using the AI writing tool. And basically, anytime you see the pencil icon with the little Gemini diamond logo, that lets you know kind of what you're doing there. Now, what do you want to do if you want to print or export this document? So first things, you want to go to File, and then you want to go right here where you see Download, and then you can download in all of these different formats. I like PDF, but you can do Word if you're dealing with someone on Microsoft. And then you go to the format you want, and it'll bring up and download. And now as you see here, I can open up my folder. I can open up this PDF, and I'm about to drag it over here so you can see it. Now look at this. Here is the PDF of the document that I've been working on as we've been doing this tutorial. So again, you go here, go to File, go to Download, choose your format, and you're good to go. Now, the next thing that you may want to do is print. There's an option here with the printer. Go to Print or Command or Control P. Choose that option there. Choose the printer you are using and go to print, and it'll print the document just like you were using any word processing tool. And that's it. You know how to use and master Google Docs from start to finish. If this video helped, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials like this. There will be a pinned comment in the comment section below with most common FAQs or frequently asked questions about Google Docs, and I will be continually adding to that to make this basically a hub for anyone wanting to learn and grow with their Google Docs skills. See you next time.